Hello, everyone, and welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating world of Asian comedy. Today, we're going to explore the diverse traditions, unique styles, and evolving landscape of comedy across Asia, from traditional forms that date back centuries to modern stand-up and internet humor that's taking the world by storm. Comedy, like all art forms, is deeply cultural. What makes people laugh in Tokyo might be different from what audiences find hilarious in Mumbai, Seoul, or Manila. Yet there are also fascinating commonalities and a rich exchange of comedic influences that make Asian comedy both distinct and universally relatable. Asian comedy has deep historical roots that have shaped today's humor. Let's explore some of the traditional forms. In Japan, comedy has ancient origins with forms like kyogen, comic theater performed alongside serious no plays, dating back to the 14th century. These often featured stories of servants outsmarting their masters, an early form of underdog humor that remains popular today. Manzai, a traditional Japanese comedy style featuring two performers, a straight man and a funny man, has evolved from its 7th century origins into modern TV performances. The rapid-fire exchanges and physical comedy in Manzai influenced many of today's variety shows. Chinese comedy traditions include crosstalk or zhangshang, a dialogic performance art where performers use wordplay, puns, and cultural references to create humor. Dating back to the Qing dynasty, it remains popular in modern China. India's comedy tradition includes ancient Sanskrit plays with comic characters, regional folk comedies, and the more modern tradition of Hasya Kavi Sammelan, or comic poetry gatherings. The emphasis on wordplay and social commentaries in these traditions continues in modern Indian comedy. Korean traditional comedy includes mask dance dramas, or Tao Chum, that use humor to critique social hierarchies, and pansori narrative performances that incorporated comic elements. These influences are visible in contemporary Korean comedy's social awareness. So, just what makes Asian audiences laugh? Comedy isn't universal. Cultural contexts strongly influence what people find funny. Here are some elements that particularly resonate across many Asian comedic traditions. First are situational humor and social dynamics. Many Asian comedies excel at finding humor in everyday situations, particularly those involving family dynamics, workplace hierarchies, and social expectations. There's often a focus on relatable, awkward moments that arise from navigating complex social structures. In Japan, the concept of kai, or unable to read the air, referring to socially awkward people who misread situations, is a common comedy trope. Korean comedy often mines humor from age hierarchies and saving face in embarrassing situations. The next elements are physical comedy and exaggeration. Physical comedy transcends language barriers and remains extremely popular across Asia. From the slapstick elements in Stephen Chow's kung fu comedies to the exaggerated reactions in Japanese variety shows, visual humor plays a central role. Japanese game shows, which often place contestants in absurd physical challenges, have become internationally recognized for their over-the-top approach to physical comedy. Then we have the wordplay elements and linguistic humor. Languages with tonal systems like Chinese, Vietnamese, and Thai, or complex writing systems like Japanese with its multiple alphabets, create unique opportunities for wordplay that don't exist in English. In Chinese comedy, puns based on the 4 tones can create multiple layers of meaning. Japanese comedy often plays with kanji characters to create visual puns. Korean comedians use the flexibility of their language structure for creative wordplay. Group harmony and self-deprecation are also important elements in Asian humor. While Western comedy often celebrates the individual, many Asian comedy traditions place greater emphasis on group dynamics. Self-deprecating humor is common, where comedians make themselves the butt of jokes rather than targeting others aggressively. And finally, we have the elements of cultural references and shared experiences. Comedy that references specific cultural practices, foods, family dynamics, and social expectations resonates strongly with Asian audiences who share these experiences. Now, let's look at some notable Asian comedians, starting with stand-up comedy stars. Ronnie Chang is Malaysian Chinese. He's known for his work as a correspondent on The Daily Show and his Netflix special, Asian Comedian Destroys America.
In this country, that's like a congressional gridlock, right? Everyone always threatening a government shutdown. Government shutdown? Yo, there's no government shutdown with Asian people in charge. We don't shut down for anything.
Chang brings a sharp, acerbic wit to observations about cultural differences, racism, and modern society. Ali Wong is Vietnamese Chinese American. With her groundbreaking Netflix specials, Baby Cobra and Hard Knock Wife, Wong revolutionized comedy by performing while heavily pregnant and speaking candidly about motherhood, marriage, and Asian American identity.
And they go on this fake-ass journey, looking at 3 different houses, and the audience is meant to be left in suspense. Which house are they gonna choose?
Ken Jeong is a well-known Korean-American comedian. He's actually a former physician who found fame through roles in the Hangover films and Community. Jeong often uses his medical background and Korean heritage as material, combining physical comedy with sharp observational humor.
Trying to help her out. It was so fucking amazing. And I'm thinking to myself, like, look, oh my God, I may have to do CPR on this person. And I have to assess, like, the ABCs before you do CPR. You know, airway, breathing, circulation, not always be closing. It's a different thing.
Trevor Noah is South African and partly of Asian descent. While better known for his African heritage, Noah's mixed background, his mother is partly of Chinese ancestry, has informed his global perspective on comedy and race.
The virus will be gone 21 days. Some are even saying 20.
Joe Coy is Filipino American. He is known for his stories about his Filipino mother and cultural upbringing. Coy has built a massive following with his Netflix specials, exploring family dynamics and cultural identity.
I'd rather fucking die.
He's serious. 4 years she loves you, dude. Wear the goddamn mask. This shit'll save your life. Oh, you're married?
Yeah.
And he still doesn't want to listen to you?
I'm getting married.
You're getting married?
Yeah, and he still won't wear it.
And he still won't wear it. Fuck him, let him die. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him, dude. Fuck Dylan. Fuck Dylan. That's what he'll say on his tombstone. Fuck Dylan.
Veer Das is Indian and one of India's biggest comedy exports. Das's To India's performance went viral for its nuanced take on Indian society. He blends political commentary with personal stories that bridge cultural divides.
I come from an India that has the largest working population under 30 on the planet, but still listens to 75-year-old leaders with 150-year-old ideas. I come.
Kumail Nanjiani is Pakistani-American. The Silicon Valley star and Oscar-nominated screenwriter brings a thoughtful approach to cultural identity, relationships, and immigrant experiences. Now let's dive into some Asian film comedy icons. Stephen Chow is from Hong Kong. He's a creator of kung fu comedy classics like Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle. Chow pioneered a unique blend of action, slapstick, and visual gags that defined Hong Kong comedy cinema. Zhao Jingqi is Chinese and known as the king of comedy in Chinese language cinema. His films blend physical comedy with wordplay and have influenced generations of comedians. Cha Tae-hyun is Korean. He's the star of My Sassy Girl and numerous comedy films. Cha embodies Korean comedy's blend of heart and humor. Asian TV comedy legends are worth a mention as well. Kitano Beat Takeshi is Japanese. He started as a manzai comedian and became an entertainment mogul whose shows introduced many now common comedy game show elements. Gul Degang is Chinese and a master of zhangsheng or crosstalk. He has modernized the traditional form for contemporary audiences. Lee Soon-gyun is from Korea. He is a variety show staple known for quick thinking and physical comedy who appears on numerous hit shows. Kapil Sharma is Indian. He is host of India's most popular comedy talk show and combines traditional elements with contemporary topics. And finally, there are the Asian internet and new media stars. Niga Higa, or Ryan Higa, is a Japanese American. He is one of YouTube's first stars and pioneered many comedy formats that became standard on the platform. Lizzie Key is Chinese. Though not strictly a comedian, her idyllic countryside videos often incorporate subtle humor about modern life versus traditional practices. Joe Coy is Filipino American. He used social media to build a following before breaking into mainstream comedy with Netflix specials. So, just how does Asian comedy differ from American comedy? While there are countless variations across Asia, we can identify some general tendencies that differentiate Asian comedic approaches from mainstream American comedy. First is the indirect versus direct approach. Many Asian comedy traditions favor indirect humor that requires viewers to understand context and subtext, compared to the more direct punchline structure common in American comedy. In Japanese comedy, the concept of ma, the pause or space between actions, creates tension and buildup that's resolved through laughter. This timing differs from the rapid-fire delivery popular in American stand-up. Then there is the physical comedy emphasis. While physical comedy exists everywhere, many Asian comedy traditions place greater emphasis on exaggerated movements, reactions, and physical challenges. Hong Kong comedy films pioneered a unique blend of martial arts and slapstick that influenced global cinema. Japanese variety shows, with their extreme physical challenges, have spawned numerous international adaptations. We also see a difference in group dynamics versus individual voice. American comedy often celebrates the individual comedian's unique voice and perspective. Many Asian comedy formats emphasize group dynamics, from comedy troupes to variety shows where multiple hosts interact. Korean variety shows like Running Man or Knowing Bros rely on ensemble casts with established relationships and roles. This creates a different energy than the individual spotlight of American stand-up. And the approach to sensitive topics also differs. While American comedy often directly confronts controversial topics, many Asian comedy traditions have historically taken more indirect approaches to social commentary. However, this is changing rapidly as newer generations of comedians push boundaries. Chinese comedian Li Dan has stirred controversy with feminist topics, while Indian comics increasingly tackle politics despite potential consequences. A big final difference is reverence for tradition versus disruption. American comedy often celebrates breaking norms, while many Asian comedy forms maintain connections to traditional formats even while innovating within them. Japanese manzai performers still follow established patterns while updating content. Chinese crosstalk artists respect the form structure while addressing contemporary issues. The evolution of Asian comedy in the global era is dynamic. Asian comedy is undergoing a remarkable transformation in the digital age. First, we have stand-up's rise across Asia. Western-style stand-up comedy has taken root across Asia, adapted to local contexts and sensibilities. Comedy clubs have opened in major cities from Tokyo to Singapore, Bangkok to Mumbai. In China, stand-up comedy competitions like Rock and Roast have launched careers and created a new entertainment category. India's comedy scene exploded with numerous stand-up specials in multiple languages. Digital platforms and global reach are also expanding. YouTube, Netflix, and social media have dramatically expanded the reach of Asian comedians, allowing them to find international audiences without traditional gatekeepers. Comedians like Niga Higa built massive followings on YouTube before mainstream recognition. Netflix has invested heavily in Asian comedy specials, showcasing performers who previously lacked international platforms. Diaspora voices will continue to bridge cultures. Asian comedians in Western countries often serve as cultural bridges, translating experiences from multiple audiences and creating new fusion comedy styles. Ronnie Chang's International Student and Asian Comedian Destroys America both play with this multinational perspective. Hassan Minhaj's Homecoming King addressed the immigrant experience in America while maintaining strong connections to Indian cultural references. The future of Asian comedy looks promising. As we look toward the horizon, several exciting trends are shaping the future of Asian comedy. First is greater cross-cultural exchange. We're seeing unprecedented collaboration between comedians across Asian countries and between Asia and the West. Korean variety show formats are being adapted in China. Japanese comedy game shows influence Western productions. Indian comedians tour internationally. This cross-pollination is creating new hybrid forms that maintain cultural specificity while incorporating global influences. Then there is the digital innovation. Asian comedy creators are pioneering new digital formats, from China's short video platforms to Korea's innovative webtoons with comedic elements. These digital native formats are influencing global content creation. AI translation is making comedy more accessible across language barriers, though cultural context remains challenging to translate. We will also see comedians tackling tougher topics. Younger generations of Asian comedians are increasingly willing to address previously taboo subjects, from politics to sexuality, mental health to gender roles. This evolution reflects changing social attitudes and the influence of global comedy movements, though the approaches remain culturally distinct. There will be an even greater mainstream global breakthrough. We're witnessing more Asian comedians achieving international recognition beyond diaspora audiences. As global entertainment becomes less Western-centric, Asian comedy voices are finding larger platforms. From Ali Wong's Netflix dominance to the viral spread of Korean variety show clips, Asian comedy is increasingly part of global pop culture conversations. Asian comedy represents one of the world's richest and most diverse humor traditions. From ancient theatrical forms to cutting-edge digital content, the evolution of comedy across Asia demonstrates both cultural specificity and universal appeal. As global connectivity increases and artificial barriers between entertainment markets fall, we can expect even greater exchange of comedic ideas and the emergence of new fusion forms that maintain cultural depth while reaching broader audiences. What aspects of Asian comedy resonate most with you? Are there comedians or shows from Asia that you particularly enjoy? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global entertainment.